Hello everyone, welcome back. Episode 6 of The Owl House has arrived, but before we get to the review, if you wish to support me and other independent creators on YouTube, then please like, share, and subscribe. It will teach the algorithm that you like videos from creators like myself who don't work for these large corporations, whom YouTube has chosen to side with. And if you want to go the extra mile in showing your support, please follow the link in the description box below. Now, here is my review or thoughts on this episode. Now, at first I was kind of hesitant to make this review because nothing really happened in this episode. We did get some world building, but not much to really progress the story. There are two things that end up happening in this episode. One is Luz and her slumber party. The other is Ida trying to buy some more of the elixir that keeps her from transforming that we talked about in a previous episode. Let's talk about Luz first, since she is, of course, the main character. Now, Luz decides to hold something called a conjuring. Basically, it's their world's version of a slumber party. She chooses to invite Willow and Gus, since those are the only friends she actually has. And there, they try to animate a doll that Gus brought over, and they keep doing this joke where Gus keeps correcting them, saying that it's actually a figurine every time they say doll. It's not really that funny, but... well, it wasn't really that funny the third or fourth time. It was kind of funny the first time, but anyway. And when they did do the ritual, the spell ended up being a lot stronger than they actually thought. And they end up animating the house instead of the doll. Then the doll gets up and... oh, excuse me, I said doll. The house pretty much grows legs and ends up just walking out. But apparently they find out that that it can be stopped, or it listens to their commands every time they join hands and they pool their magic together. Now, at first I thought that it was just the spell that was stronger, because of the convergence or something. Because they said that this was something that happens once in a lifetime. So I figured maybe it boosted their magic somewhat. But apparently it's actually because of something else, which we'll get to that. So when they animated the house, Willow said that she wants to go to Amity's house to show off how good she is when it comes to magic. But right before they do, they end up getting captured by what this world calls demon hunters. Now, basically what they do is they hunt demons and they end up selling them for a profit. Pretty basic explanation. And when they do, they take the three kids, Luz, Willow, and Gus, and they end up throwing them off a cliff, to kill them. So that was kind of dark. I mean, I know Disney is used to doing dark stuff, but still, I mean, they're just about to kill children. I mean, guys, come on. And while they're about to, die, we end up getting something that I guess it was supposed to be like a touching moment, but it's just considering the timing, it felt out of place. In fact, Gus even says, guys, is this really the best time? I mean, and yeah, I agree. Like, why are you telling this now, right as you're about to die? And this moment basically is this. Willow says, and I kind of predicted this the first time we saw them in the episode, I think it was episode 2? No, episode 3. The first time we saw them in episode 3, I kind of predicted this. Willow says that her and Amity used to be friends, but then when Amity discovered her magic and Willow didn't, I guess it gave her sort of a sense of superiority. And before we continue, there's something that I want to comment on, and it's just something that I notice every time Willow's on screen. Whoever is voice acting her, or whoever is the voice actor, who voices Willow, she is not good. I'm sorry, but she is just not good. I mean, the way she delivers her lines are all, it comes off as kind of monotone. Like the voice actress doesn't really care all that much. And it's like she just read her line and then went home. Like, they didn't bother to do like 2 or 3 more takes just to say, you know what, hey, maybe we could put a little bit more emotion into this. But yeah, no, it's just, it feels very, oh God, what's the word? I don't want to say lazy. No, lazy is not the word, but you know what? Okay, let's just call it lazy. Anyway, they were able to get back to the house after Willow uses her magic to beat all of the demon hunters. Although why she didn't do this before, I don't know. But anyway, they do. They get back to the house and they pretty much try to put the house back to where it was before it got up and walked off. And they have to do this quickly before Ida catches them. And I'm about to explain why that is. Now, let's talk about Ida. Not really much to say here when it comes to what Ida does in this episode. Basically, her and King go to something called the night market, where apparently that's where a lot of the shady shit happens in in this world. Anyway, she goes there and she finds some guy named Tremble or Tremblay or something. Anyway, he apparently has what she needs, but because this is sort of like the black market, he ends up overcharging it. And she tells him, okay, how about this? If I beat you in a card game, and it's called Texas Hold'em. Like, haha, do you get it? Sort of like Texas Hold'em. It's just, okay, haha, hilarious. And by the way, that's just one of the many, many jokes that are in this episode. I didn't talk about all of them because otherwise this review would be a lot longer. And I don't want it to go on for too long. And also, like I said, nothing else really happens in this episode. Anyway, she ends up challenging him to a game and says that, okay, if I win, you give me the elixir. And if he wins, he says he just wants King. So he wins. It turns out he hustled her, and I predicted it from the beginning. Yeah, he's hustling her. Like, first of all, he's pretending like not to know what the game is, and she of course falls for it. That cliche. And yeah, so she ends up losing, and he takes King, and he also says that he's about to turn her over to the Emperor's Coven. Remember in the previous episode we talked about how the Emperor's Coven wants to capture Ida, and at first we thought that it's because she was a criminal, but we find out no, like there's got to be more to this, and like why does the Emperor want her specifically? So anyway, the entire time I'm asking, like, wait, Ida, why don't you just use your magic to get out? And we find out that, the curse that transforms her into this giant owl creature thing. It apparently stops her from using her magic. Again, I don't know how that works, but okay. Anyway, so she can't use her magic, but just as she's about to be captured, remember when I said that Luz and her friends are in the house and they want to get it back to where it was? So apparently on their way there, they end up stepping on the stall that this guy owns, and he drops a bottle of the elixir. King rushes over to the elixir. He picks it up, throws it to Ida. She catches it with her mouth, drinks it. The curse has subsided, and now she can use her magic to get out. And Ida, of course, notices that Luz is in the house, so she knows what she's been up to. Anyway, Luz brings the house back, and something weird happens here. So Luz, now the entire time, think about this. Luz and her friends were inside the house, right? The entire time. And right as they put the house down, they talk about, they say, oh, haha, yeah, we did it. We were able to bring it back before Ida catches us. And then they do the whole bit where, the kids think that they got away, but then the adults close the door and it's revealed, oh, they know the whole thing the entire time. But I'm sitting here wondering, Ida, first of all, how the hell did you get into this house without them noticing? And how did you get there so quickly? Like that, just, I know you could have flown there, but they would have seen you if you were flying. I mean, come on. But anyway, it's just a bit of a nitpick, just something that I noticed. Anyway, she catches them and says, as punishment, you have to clean the house from top to bottom. And she also says, on your next conjuring, join, I'm willing to join in or something. I don't know. It's again, another one of their jokes, not really all that funny. And King makes a comment saying that, he says that, the fact that they were able to animate a house, like that must have taken a lot of power. And when Ida says this, Ida's the one who says, yeah, that must have taken a lot of power to animate a whole house. Ida, like the camera zooms in on Luz, which I guess indicates that, or at least here's what they're kind of indicating, and I'm going to give you guys my sort of opinions on that. I guess this is the show indicating like maybe Luz has this secret reserve of magic power, like maybe she's secretly a great witch or something. And if I'm being honest, I genuinely hope that's not true, because it would feel like a bit of a cliche that this person who came out of nowhere is secretly like an insanely powerful witch, and yada yada yada. And I don't know if they end up revealing that's because of her parentage. Like maybe it has something to do with her dad, because so far we haven't met the dad, we only know about the mom. I don't know, it's just I hope they don't do it. But there is another explanation. Earlier in the episode, remember when I said that Luce, Willow, and Gus were about to fall to their deaths? Luce makes a comment saying that you're probably the second most powerful witch that I know. So I'm wondering if maybe like maybe if all that power that came from the all of that power that was required to animate an entire house, maybe it actually came from Willow, not Luce, or who knows, maybe it came from Gus. Again, we don't know. We still don't know that much about him, although I highly doubt that considering modern Disney. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about that. But before the episode ends, something else happens towards the end. Like this is the very last scene of the episode. We cut to Amity at her house, and apparently they couldn't even animate one doll, and they had Luce and Willow and Gus were just three people. They had like five witches, and they couldn't even animate one doll. And you see Amity, and you can tell she's kind of disappointed by this. And she one of her friends she sees on this her scroll, but they sort of use them like phones. And she says that someone posted pics on, get this, Penstagram. I'm not even joking here. They actually call it Penstagram. Yeah, okay, haha, we get it, sort of like Instagram, okay. So anyway, the pictures they posted were of Luce and her friends in the house, the fact that they animated a whole house, and I don't know how they did this, but somehow they were able to take a clear picture of Luce, Willow, and Gus. I don't know how they did this. I mean, how the fuck did they get the pictures without them knowing? It's just, it makes absolutely no goddamn sense. I don't know. It's just, it's dumb. It makes no goddamn sense. So anyway, Amity sees the picture and she's shocked. Now, again, I don't know how I feel about this. Like the fact that I get that, again. See, I don't know if they were able to do it because like they had the power in them, or if it was because of this convergence thing that they said only happens once in a lifetime. Like maybe it boosted their magic for a bit. But if that's the case, then why didn't it do the same for Amity? And I don't get why she wasn't able to animate like a single doll when they've been building up that Amity is like a talented witch and all this time, and yet she couldn't even animate one doll. I mean, it's just it's kind of weird. Anyway, that being said, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this review, and if you liked it, let me remind you: like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon to let you know when I post my review of episode 7. And again, if you want to go farther in your support, there is a link in the description box down below that you can follow. With that being said, again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys are all awesome, and I really hope you join me on my next review. Bye.